What's up? It's the real Dill again with another video. This morning I want to talk about sarcoidosis. Sarcoidosis, is a disease that my father died from, and also Bernie Mac, the comedian, also died from complications of sarcoidosis. But I don't know too much about sarcoidosis other than just my experience, with my father. And I know my father, a lot of his complications was because of sarcoidosis. And he was in the military. Young man. He took sick, and the doctors at Walter Reed Military Hospital had no idea what was wrong with him. And he was in there for maybe like 3 months. And finally they diagnosed him that he had sarcoidosis. And he had the severe case of diagnosis now of sarcoidosis. Now, from what research I've done, sarcoidosis can literally not affect you at all. It can come and it can go. But in my father's case, sometimes he would swell up. He'd get puffy. Like he was bloated or something like that. And he couldn't walk from here to maybe a half block without breathing real hard. And he also had a dry cough. But smoking also, he shouldn't have been smoking. But even if he didn't smoke, sarcoidosis still, in his case, it would have took a toll on him like it did. But what I want to say is that the black community is more likely than the white community to develop sarcoidosis. And there is really no information about the causes of sarcoidosis, but a lot of hypotheses suggest that the industrial areas, in the country, like say this area here, which is the steel mill, and they've been dumping that shit, in the air, man, since the turn of the century. And it's a lot of people, citizens here in Gary, Indiana, man, that's got lung problems, man. And it's because of this, this bad air here, that mill. So Gary is right between two major steel mills, man. But also women, are 10 to 17 times 10 to 17 times more likely to, develop sarcoidosis than men. A lot of people, there's really no cure for it, but a lot of people can live with it. There is medications to reduce the inflammation, of the lymph nodes, and also sarcoidosis can affect other organs, but most of your cases of sarcoidosis is in the lungs. But my father, he lived with it, as long as he could, but with his, breathing and his heart working overdrive, he had an enlarged heart, and, he passed on the operating table, man, and he wasn't number 60 years old, and I'm 6 years from that, you dig, so, I'm at the family home right now, so I just sitting back reflecting, man, on the family and, and stuff like that. And, I was just talking to my mother, and we was talking about sarcoidosis. I said, you know what, let me do a video about this. And also, I saw an article about this also. Somebody posted it on Facebook. And, yeah, that's something serious, man, It always seems like the black community is more susceptible, to these diseases, than white America. I mean, each ethnicity has their problems with different, diseases and mental illnesses which affect their specific ethnicity more than it does others. But I'm just concerned about the melanated community and, sarcoidosis, especially if you're living in this area. Get your lungs checked, or if you're living in, those industrial cities like, say in Pennsylvania, Scranton, or like down in the Gulf with all that oil and, everywhere, or like even out in California, man, in those valleys where that smog from the emissions of the automobiles, a certain time of year just be hanging over the city. It's very dangerous, man, And my father probably had sarcoidosis, man, as young as a teenager, because as my mother was telling me that, back in those days, man, everybody had to participate, whatever work we could find. So my grandmother and grandpa would do odd jobs for these farms out here. They developed now, but once upon a time, Gary was surrounded by farms, and a lot of the melanated people here would do migrant work, the same things the Mexicans doing today. Why you think black folks don't want to go out there and, pick almonds and pick oranges? We did that shit. We been there, done that. But my mother was telling me that those silos, those corn silos, my father would literally, being small like that, would have to go in there and clean out them silos. And, that corn dust can kill you without a respirator. So she said that's probably had a lot to do with it. Because when a young man, barely 22, 23 years old, in the Army, and he got an honorable discharge, but, his health wouldn't let him continue. You dig? But, he was diagnosed with sarcoidosis, man, back in like 1961 or 62, something like that, before I was born, and Bernie Mac succumbed to the complications, of sarcoidosis. Although it was pneumonia, your immune system, is shot, man, when you have to live with some of these certain type of diseases. So, we got to stay up on top of our health game, man. You understand? And, that's, really, this my message this morning, was just on my mind, about sarcoidosis, complications of sarcoidosis. So I hope I was able to help, and just give you something to think about, So I'm gonna get on out of here, man. I'm your man, the real deal. Once again, out of the city of Gary, Indiana. Peace, y'all.